Good morning, everyone, or I guess good afternoon for people in Europe currently. It's basically, I hope, time for everyone to get off work, and I hope you had a great day. And for those waking up in California, at least, people in the Midwest on the East Coast are already at work. So the timing never works out for everyone, but that's why it sits on the page. Hi, everyone. For those in the United States, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I figured I would do WeChat Wednesday all about gratitude and what we're grateful for. And thank you guys always for contributing to the question boxes. I always struggle to figure out exactly how to word things, especially when it's a huge topic like gratitude. It took a while for me to figure out how to kind of break it down into how to ask about what we're grateful for, but also to make sure that we're also grateful for the things we've done and the part we've played as well. So anyways, hi, good morning, everyone. I'm going to say good morning because I'm in LA, but whatever time of day it is for you. Sorry that I missed last Wednesday. Things were crazy, good crazy, but crazy, and obviously forgot the day if no one saw that story. And then I got horribly sick after Sunday, after Aspen's birthday. So today's only Wednesday, but Sunday night, Monday, and yesterday was pretty down for the count. So, but back at it, waiting for everyone to come on. Okay, so I wanted to start this one about gratitude with a quote that it is not happiness that brings us gratitude, but gratitude that brings us happiness. And I think that really says a lot, and I find that to be so true. But that is something, a quote I saw, but I cannot for the life of me found who said it. So I did not come up with it, not taking credit, but I cannot find who actually said it. But I think it really sums up everything we're going to talk about today. So thank you. I'll go right into questions, or the things you guys submitted, and go from there. I kind of want to go in a different order. But also all of my technology, per usual, everyone that knows me, is already dying this morning. Yes, and then I will, talk about something else got brought up. Okay. So I wanted to start with first the question about what are you grateful to yourself for surviving, choosing, or changing? I think this was such a big one to try to wrap up gratitude, or maybe to start with gratitude, because it's so important for us to really recognize what are we proud of but grateful for that we actually made it through something that challenged us or scared us or really wasn't a great time in our life. So I'll go through what people said. So what are you grateful for to yourself for surviving, choosing, or changing? People said choosing to feel everything, the good and the pain, which is really important. Grateful to myself for surviving every day and the challenges that are thrown my way. Choosing to leave a workplace and changing the way that I think after doing this. This is so important and so scary, and I applaud you for doing this. Leaving a work environment when it feels like there's safety and security in a world that feels like there's always scarcity in the job field is so unbelievably scary. But I will say, it's always better in hindsight. You can see clearer in hindsight, but it's not healthy for our mental headspace, and life is too short to waste it at a work environment where either it's traumatic or mentally not healthy. So I always think that when I see this is people that are able to leave that workplace environment. I applaud you because I couldn't do it, and I think it's extremely admirable. I'm still so stuffed up in my nose. Extremely admirable that you can do that, but I also understand for those out there that are scared to make that change, it's also extremely scary. So we all have to do what's right for us at the time. I go back and I don't live in regret, but I also go, would I have changed it if I had gone back and been able to maybe walk away from that toxic environment? So it's interesting, it's the work one is extremely, extremely difficult. But I also will say life is short, and wasting years of your life doing something that basically is traumatic or leaves you in a state of trauma because it's such a toxic work environment is never good. So I applaud you for this. That is definitely one that you should be grateful to yourself for surviving, choosing, or changing. Surviving an accelerating nursing school program. Congratulations. I know so many people that I've talked to in this community that are in nursing programs. And I applaud you and everything you're doing. And thank you so much for taking care of us all when we're at our worst. Grateful to grow older and experience all life has to offer. Today, I'm going to say that. Okay. Grateful to have food on the table and roof over my head. Here we go. Grateful for myself for choosing to finally set a firm boundary with a toxic relationship, which has changed the trajectory of my happiness. Again, so hard. Sometimes in those relationships that can be manipulative or have gaslighting or toxic in ways that are not obvious. I think people always assume if a relationship is abusive, it's always got to be physical, and it doesn't. There's ways that relationships can be, I use the word abusive lately, but toxic or manipulative and really drain you as a person, and you kind of lose yourself in the relationship, and that, not for the positive, and that can happen. I've seen it happen to people, and it's really sad, and it's almost impossible, it feels like, to get out of it, because your whole mind has changed, your whole way of thinking has changed in that relationship. These can also be sometimes friendships, but I think I applaud you for being able to set those firm boundaries. And sometimes people, the other person in that relationship doesn't know what they're doing. It's everyone, we all have our own trauma and our own triggers, and that is something that can permeate our lives, our friendships, our future relationships, and we're all a work in progress. We're all trying to get better, so sometimes it's not intentional. We all have stuff we bring to the table, and hopefully in a relationship where there's really good communication, you can get through that or walk away if it's something that that isn't helping you, isn't healthy is the word I'll use. So I'm proud of you for setting those firm boundaries in that toxic relationship as well. I'm grateful to myself for changing my perspective on failure, seeing it as feedback instead of an ending. It's so good. I love that one. Failure is such a hard word. I try not to use it. I try not to say it because I never felt like something's been, of course when I was younger, I never felt like something's been a failure. It's a lesson. But I've been able to learn that because everything I ever thought that was like this horrible failure in life, later on I realized if I hadn't experienced that, I wouldn't be where I am and the person I am today. So I try to change the word failure to upset, because it's not what we expected, right? We strive for something, and we didn't get it. We didn't get what we were striving for, and sometimes we view that as a failure, but sometimes if I can change that to like, oh, it's an upset. It's not what I wanted, but what can I take from this experience that I can learn and grow from, or at least applaud? Sometimes there is a lot of things to be grateful for and little wins along the way. It's just sometimes that end goal is not what we reach. So I love that. Grateful to myself for choosing to live when everything felt so hard to deal with. This is important. Always know you're not alone. We all struggle with, I think most people, I can't speak for everyone in the world, struggle with some version of depression sometime in our life. And so just always like to remind people when they're going through that you're not alone, and that, there is another side. So just believe in yourself, try to lift yourself up, and surround yourself with people that can do that for you as well. But know that you're not alone. That's always one I want people to know, because I know that sometimes when we're depressed, we feel like no one understands us. We can't talk to anyone. We're a burden on everyone. And it's a really scary place to be. So just if you're out there struggling with depression, just know you're not alone. And there's a whole community, this community as well, that I've heard so many amazing stories of people that have worked through depression or going through it and taking the right steps. So just know that you're not alone. I'll say it again. Choosing to rewrite my story after many people tried writing it for me. That's a great one too. Wow, that's a really profound one. Yeah, it speaks for itself. I don't think I really need to comment on that. Sometimes it's really hard to break down the things that people expect of us. Family, I'd say, is usually, I don't know if this person's talking about it, but feels like family and upbringing really kind of molds us, or society, into what they want us to be or who they think we should be. And I don't know, one day we wake up and we go, do I want to be that person? And if I don't want to be that person, who do I want to be? And I'm really grateful for you for choosing to rewrite your story, because it's scary. There's an ease to just kind of following along with what's expected of you, and really standing up for who you are and figuring that out is scary. So you should be grateful. That's amazing. I'm very proud of you too. Surviving my mental health struggles and coming out stronger on the other side of it. Congratulations. I'm grateful to myself for surviving an incredible, difficult career change. That goes back to the one I said earlier. Congratulations. You did it. Like I said, career changes, it just comes from a place of scarcity and financial security, and it can be really, really, really scary to make that career change, especially later in life, but I think any time in life. So congratulations. I'm grateful for changing the way I now live my life. It's so important to make ourselves happy first. It is. It is. And like I'll say again, it is not happiness that brings gratitude, but gratitude that brings happiness. I truly believe that. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I think we're okay. My thing just came up saying poor connection. Just want to make sure everyone can still hear me. I'll take a sip of coffee while I wait to find out, because everyone knows when I did the one with Alicia, it cut out and went silent for a very long time. No one's saying if they can. Can anyone hear me? These might just be, oh, she froze. But I think, no, and am I back? Someone said, oh no, not again. I think some comments come in later. I'm gonna see. We can, okay, it's all right, great. I think it just froze for a second and then the comments were delayed. Thanks, guys. I'm remembering now to check. I'm like, wait, great. I don't know why it froze, but you know, technology. And then I'll go into, let's see, there was a couple. How has gratitude helped you heal? Again, I just want to say this again. Thank you guys always for submitting so many stuff, things, whatever it is. Sometimes it's questions, sometimes it's statements, quotes in the question boxes. I really appreciate it, and it makes this all feel, I don't know, like I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. So, and it makes me feel like you guys actually really enjoy these WeChat Wednesdays. So I'm really getting to enjoy. I'm not as nervous as I used to be. But thank you guys so much for submitting to the question boxes. So how has gratitude helped you heal? It helps me shift my mindset and generate calm energy. I love that. Gratitude makes relationships more satisfying and authentic. It really does. It really does. Gratitude showed me small bits of light on days that felt heavy. That's so important. I do think, going back to if you're going through depression, when you can kind of look outside and just appreciate the small things, if it's a beautiful day outside and the sun's out, or if flowers are growing, or gratitude towards, I just think of it because I watched it last night, but gratitude towards a show that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. For me, I watched Great British Bake Off last night, so anything that kind of you can be grateful for. I'm grateful that show exists in the world. I think it's so important. So they can be kind of silly and little, but finding things that you're grateful for don't have to be big, huge things. Actually, I think it's a bunch of little things, to be honest, with some big things sometimes sprinkled in. But being grateful for all the little things, being grateful for my cup of coffee with all my adaptogens in it. Everybody's like, what is that? Another day. Gratitude helps me see the best in things, even in the worst situations. It's true. There's always a silver lining, which I guess I was this years old when I realized kind of a silver lining means having gratitude for a specific situation. So there is always a silver lining. Gratitude has helped me heal in ways I didn't think possible. Being grateful for what is already around me and the simple things in life has brought me deep joy. It really does. It really, really does. We sometimes too, I will say, get wrapped up in the negative or the constant hustle or the constant like self-deprecation of like, I'm not doing enough, beating ourselves up, lack of compassion, of self-compassion. Like we tend to get in these cycles, at least I do. I can't speak for everyone, but if you have gone through this, it's hard. It's really hard because we tend to spiral, is a way to put it, that we're just beating ourselves up, not doing enough. And we lose sight of the things that we're actually grateful for in the moment because we're either living in the future or in the past. Sorry, I'm so stuffed up. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So I think it's really important, to just be grateful for the little things that are around you. And it kind of gets you out of your head. It's why I think journaling helps so much too, because I get so in my head sometimes and I feel like my mind is going 100 miles an hour. And it allows me to get the thoughts out. And there is a moment when you're writing stuff down that you kind of go, oh, like my brain feels quieter for a second. It's what I like about meditation. And then in those moments, you can really look around you clearly with open eyes and go, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my dog. I'm grateful for my relationships. I'm grateful for so many things. And you can really kind of like live in that warm, fuzzy feeling of the things you're grateful for. And then, don't worry, you'll go back to the stress of life. It's not like I would love to be able to be a person that can sit in gratitude all the time. Just like self-love, it's a constant practice. So don't think you're doing things wrong if you're like, I can't find anything I'm grateful for. Like, it all takes time. Go easy on yourself. Gratitude is healing because you realize sometimes things don't happen to you. Sometimes they happen for you. That's so true. And that's very much about kind of the things you survived or changed in your life and how you're grateful for them. It is, I have to make sure I say this right. Gratitude is healing because you realize sometimes things don't happen to you. They happen for you. Yes, those things in life that I experienced in my early 20s. I mean, I still go through tough times now, but like in my early 20s when things are just really rough, I'm really grateful for the things that happened for me. It's a great way to frame it. They didn't happen to me. They happened for me. It's a great way also to look at when we use this word failure or upset. It's not something that happened to you. It happened for you. So maybe that's a really good way to reframe it when you don't get that job or when there's a really big upset in life. It didn't happen to me. It happened for me. Even in the hardest of times, gratitude has helped me to welcome in the support from those around me and be thankful for it. So true. When you are in a place of gratitude, again, it's constant work. You are able to take in compassion from others easier. Because again, when we're spiraling and we're in our heads and we're depressed and we're doing all that kind of stuff, we have this thing where we can't get out of our own way. And I feel like we kind of spiral into like I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve these things. And when you're in that headspace, you can't hear any of the positive because you're in such a negative headspace. So, yeah, which is great for this next one because I have gratitude when my friends tell me I'm their safe space. It's healed and helped me more than they know. It's really, really important to feel we have a safe space. I feel like a lot of us in life struggle with the fear of abandonment or needing to feel like we're in a safe place. I don't know. I'm only speaking from my own experiences. It's really important to know you have a group of people around you that let you know that, hey, listen, you're safe with me. You're not a burden. Because I feel like a lot of times we don't, like when we're in a depressed state, we don't talk to people because we go, oh, I'm a burden on them. I don't want to do that to them. And a friend saying, hey, I'm your safe space. You're okay here is really important. So if you're that person that feels that you can take that on, let your friends know, let your family know, let your partner know, like, hey, this is a safe space. It's really important. I love that one. Feeling so much gratitude today, guys. Gratitude is like a healing balm for our souls. It helps keep me grounded when life gets too heavy. It's so true. Gratitude doesn't change what's around you. It changes what's within you. It's so true. The stuff that you're grateful for already exists. It's already there. We just sometimes are being very silly and can't see it. And we want more, or we want something different, or we expected something different, or we expected something more, or whatever those things are that are playing in our head. And if we stop and look around and just go, oh, wait, I have this, this, and this. Yes, you could still want other things, but if you take the time to really look around and be grateful for what you have, it really, really, really does change what's inside you, which is joy and happiness. Gratitude made me realize that we're all doing life for the first time and that we are all continuing to learn. Oh my gosh, yes, we're all a work in progress. Hallelujah. We are all doing this for the first time. We are, as far as we know, we are all just trying to figure it out. And you look at other people, and I think social media is a perfect example of this. Look at other people and you go, they have it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. I'm telling you that right now. Not even close. I am constantly learning and evolving, and I love sharing any information that I've been able to have in my life through therapy, through experience, to anyone out there that needs to hear it. But like, we are all figuring it out, and no one has all the answers, and we all stumble, and we all get sad, and we all get depressed. I think, maybe there's somebody out there that doesn't. I haven't met that person yet, and it's okay. And so just having gratitude, and also I think it makes us all feel like we're more the same. I think it's really important. I was saying, I think when you go on social media or celebrity in general, and we put people on a pedestal we're like, oh my God, look at them. They figured it out. How did they do it? Like, they're still probably having their times where they're like, they probably have doubts and insecurities, and I hope they don't. I don't want them to, but the truth is we're all human, and we go through phases, and it's really good to not sit there and think, oh, they're perfect. No one's perfect. We're all figuring this out and doing it for the first time and stumbling through. Try not to make too much of a mess. Let me see. I want to look through the comments for a second. I sometimes like. Someone said, not a work in progress. It's a journey to love ourselves better. I love that. You're right. That's a great way to put it too. Let's see if I go higher. There we go. I don't know what Susan and Prudence and people are talking about, but I keep seeing like little tidbits of stuff. You know how these Virgos are. I don't know. I would have to scroll back to finally probably figure out exactly what that conversation is. Grateful to therapy, yes. And I also know certain people have said like therapy is really expensive. I know that there's also places where they can get access to free therapy and things like that. I definitely was able to get, when I was younger, there was options for me to have less expensive therapy. And I know that they exist out there. I know it's hard to find. It's really hard if you're starting therapy for the first time. It's really hard to find therapists. But no, it's like also, you sometimes don't like your first one. Sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't walk away from that session feeling better. I walked away feeling worse. Sometimes therapy, sheds, holds up a mirror and sheds some light on some stuff you need to work on. So maybe walking away not feeling good is the best way to put it. But, you just know in your gut if this therapist or this, therapy class or something is not for me. But I hope everyone can find one that is reasonably priced or free. Yes, someone said they teach their students to be grateful for the small things and not focus on the negatives, which especially in students is so important because I feel like there's so much pressure put on us when we were younger to do the best, to ace the classes, to get into college or to like succeed at a job. And we're so young and there's so much pressure. So I think what you're doing for your students by saying that is so important. This is great. Lindsay is grateful, even though her father passed, is so grateful to have the memories. And I think that's so important too. When we lose loved ones, or I've talked to people that have lost even pets that are huge parts of their family. You know, it's good to always remember and be grateful for all the memories and the great times you guys had together. I mean, gratitude can still make you cry with gratitude. But no, I think that's really beautiful, and I hope, Lindsay, you have an amazing holiday. Let's see. Someone said, which was a very profound statement, our minds are either our best assets or worst enemy. Depends on where we focus our thoughts. It's so true. But I get, it's easier said than done, I will say. I get that when those negative thoughts, when your brain is really being your enemy, it's really hard to get out of. So like, just go easy on yourself. If you're going through a place where you're like, why am I thinking all these negative thoughts? Like, I've been there. It's not fun. And you're trying to like get your head out of it. And you're like, why can't I just break this like negative cycle that's going on in my head, that I'm not gonna be enough, that I'm never gonna work again, that I'm not enough of all the things. We all go through it. And I think it's really important to know that, like, go easy on yourself, because those are really hard times to go through. You know, it is, once you get to a place of gratitude, it's easier to look around and be like, oh, these amazing things. Life is wonderful. It's the hard times is when you're really struggling to get out of that negative headspace. Okay, I will go into, I want to make sure I'm caught up. Oh. Thank you guys for all the nice comments about WeChat Wednesdays. I'm really happy you guys are enjoying it. So I'll continue with things people are thankful or grateful for that you guys submitted. Grateful for life, health, family, and all that I have. Grateful I chose therapy and letting myself feel joy. Oh, it's so important. You deserve it. Everyone deserves joy. I stumbled upon my words. I was so excited. Everyone deserves joy and happiness. Everyone. You are enough. Know that. You deserve it. I'm grateful that I left toxic friends in the past, and now I'm happier than ever. That's hard. It's hard. Friendships, people, it evolves. But I'm proud of you that you got out of something that was toxic. It's really important. You know, why are we having poor connection? I know you guys are going to say it froze again, so I'm going to wait a couple seconds before it's not frozen. It said I had poor connection, so I'm afraid it froze for a tiny little bit again. I'm giving it a second. I'm doing a little dance. Is it not frozen anymore? Okay, perfect. It's fine. It's working. It's all good. Thanks, guys. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, you can also look back at those friendships that you have walked away from and try to remember the good times too. Because relationships and friendships, even though they might have ended in a toxic place or a bad place, you can go through and go, okay, there were some good moments. I mean, you don't stay in things because everything is bad. It's just eventually you realize the bad outweighs the good. But you can go through and also try to remember the happy moments without it making you want to go back. Because you can remember both, the good and the bad. But like, there are always some good things. Because I feel like what I did in the past was I would go, oh my God, I wasted my time on that friendship or that person. And I realized, no, I didn't waste it. There was a lot of good memories in there. I grew, I evolved. It happened for me because I go in, okay, I don't want to be treated that way. So try to look back at those relationships as also the good moments as well, not just the bad. Grateful to be 1 year into remission and for all the support I still receive. So congratulations. Very happy to hear that for you. I'm eternally grateful to my partner and all she has done for me. Love that. Relationship goals. Grateful to wake up every day and see where the day will take me. That's beautiful. Because I do kind of love that too. I have my to-do lists. Guys, I'm a Virgo. But that being said, it is great to kind of wake up and go, what's life gonna throw at me today? You ever have those days where you wake up and everything goes wrong? Like you wake up and you spill the coffee after you've made it. Not at the beginning, like after you've put all the certain things that you put in your coffee and then you spill it. And then you have a flat tire. or your car's making a funny noise. And then, oh, you get pooped on by a bird, or did you step in dog poop? Or like those days when you're like, oh, today's just gonna be one of those days. And those are the days that I try to just like laugh at, because I'm like, no matter what I do today, today's gonna be one of those days. Something in the universe is like, today's not your day. And if you can laugh through those and go, like you go to bed at night and you go, okay, I'm ready for this day to be over. And then you wake up the next day, you're like, okay, that day was done. Because I've never had 2 of those days happen in a row. But those days, oof. But I am grateful sometimes where the day is gonna take me. Grateful for all the amazing players I get to coach. Oh, I love that. Seeing them happy makes me feel thankful every day. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that so much. Coaches are so important. Teachers and coaches, I mean, there's so many people that are so important, but have such an influence on our lives. What is this doing right here? Have such an influence on our lives. You know, I think all of us can go back to that one teacher, that one coach that really had an impact. So it's beautiful that you're so thankful for the influence you have on them. And I think you have more of an influence than you even realize. Grateful for always cheering myself on. We're our own biggest fans on the daily. It's so true. This is sometimes hard, but we really are. I think I had to learn to be my biggest fan as an actor, because how could I not? I have to continually put myself out there and hear a constant barrage of no, great, but no, great, but no, that you kind of have to constantly be the one believing in yourself. It's great to have people that also believe in you, that surround you, but you kind of have to constantly wake up and go, I believe in myself, I can do this. And you can, trust me, you can. You just gotta keep telling yourself that you can. And not every day you're gonna tell yourself you can. Some days you're gonna be like, oh, today I can. Today's the day that I can. But the next day I can, and the next day I can, and the next day I can. So again, go easy on yourself. But yeah, you can cheer yourself on. Surround yourself with people that cheer you on too. But then make sure to always cheer yourself on too. Grateful for the WeChat Wednesday conversations. Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks, guys. It put such a smile on my face. I'm very grateful going into Thanksgiving Day, which doesn't feel like it was really a holiday this year for some reason. Feels like there's still like phone calls and emails and work stuff. I'm like, usually this completely stops and shuts down. But I'm grateful for all the phone calls and auditions and things that are happening right now. But I'm going to be grateful tomorrow to eat a bunch of yummy food with my family. So yeah, this was so great, guys. I want to just go through. Happy Thanksgiving. Grateful to their friends and family that understand me just for me. It goes back to someone saying that they stopped trying to be the person that everyone else wanted them to be. And then eventually when you become you, I think that's the scariest part, going from what people expect of you to what the person you want to be, is you're so afraid that when you make that transition, that people are gonna stop loving you. And in my experience, for the most part, obviously, there's definitely people that have experienced the opposite. But I would say for the most part, that change happens. Regardless that change happens, you find more joy and happiness in your life. But for the most part, people end up going, oh yeah, no, I accept you as this person too. And I'm proud of you. So. Someone, oh, don't go away, there it is, wait. They said in Korea, there's a saying, wishing oneself well is love. I love that. Wishing oneself well is love. Thank you for sharing that. Just going through to see if there's any other. You guys are like so many. Thanks. Just going through. Wow, someone said I'm grateful for that I sang in front of 1,000 people, even though I have really bad social anxiety. Yeah, I get that. Oh my God. I went, just to tell a little story. So social anxiety is a real thing for anyone. And people think because I'm an actor, why would I not have social anxiety or stage fright or all that kind of stuff? And I went to the Magic Castle recently, and I got called up on stage by the magician, and I've never been, it's saying it pause right on my story. It's like, we don't want to hear your story. I'm going to pause. Everyone in my back, why does it keep doing this today? I'm just keeping an eye on my back. Let me go back. So, no, again. You're back. Love it. I love that it did it during my story. It was like, we don't want to hear your story about the Magic Castle. Anyways, I went to the Magic, I'll say it fast. I went to the Magic Castle, got pulled up on stage. Oh my gosh, I was sweating so bad. I was so nervous. It's interesting. As an actor, I will say, it's much easier. I think it's probably one of the reasons I became an actor. Keep happening. Okay, it's telling us to end. I'm also plugging it in. It's not dead, but it's lower on batteries. So let me see if that's an issue. I don't know why that'd be an issue. But there shouldn't be any reception issues at this house. Maybe it's because my computer's so close to the phone. What's the Magic Castle? The Magic Castle is a place in LA. It's been around for a very, very long time where it's all magicians, different rooms on stage. It's a very cool thing in LA that I've never been to, and I've lived here my whole life, and I got to go. So anyways, I don't even know what this story was. I forgot. Stage fright, anxiety, being an actor. I think part of me, I am much more comfortable playing characters. Obviously, I've become much more comfortable being myself because I've been surrounded by so many people that accept me for me. But I would think early on, if I really wrap my head around it, acting was a way that I could express myself in ways that I couldn't do as myself. So I love kind of putting on that mask and playing other characters. And then over time, I eventually was like, but I still have a horrible stage fright, and I'm thinking I need to do theater and really kind of combat that. So I get it, but congrats for singing in front of 1,000 people. You should be so proud of yourself. Okay, I think before we run into another, what's it called? Wi-Fi connection issue. Yes, thank you guys. Grateful for children, family. They come so fast. Susan, I feel like you're encouraging me. That's great. Somebody's pitching some other ideas for WeChat Wednesdays, which I would love to hear. I am starting to get to a place where I'm like, what do we talk about? I'm like, do I have some just random ones about face products that I use or something? I don't know. I sometimes feel like I don't know what to talk about. But anyways, thank you guys for making sure. Grateful for all the tiny humans in my life. Grateful for my mom to be alive because I almost lost her. That's beautiful. Definitely never take for granted the people in your life that bring you love and joy and happiness. Okay, sometimes it's always hard for me to stop. This has been amazing as always. Thank you guys so much for showing up and for submitting questions. I'll end with another Oprah. I think I did Oprah Winfrey last week, maybe the week before. Or have I? I can't remember. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Oprah Winfrey said that. I'm going to leave it at that. For those of you celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you guys, everyone, for showing up. This was so much fun. Until next, I'm going to say this ahead of time. I know I'm going to be on a plane next Wednesday. Will I be on a plane next Wednesday? Wait. Why do I just can't just say the quote and end it. I'll post about it. Next Wednesday. I think I will be on a plane. But we'll figure it out. I'll do some posts. Maybe I was even thinking, since Wednesdays seem to be days that I tend to be on planes for some reason, I might do like a pre-recorded one. I don't know if that's how that works, or I will still try to do it. But regardless, something will go up Wednesday in some fashion or another. But yeah, so thank you again. I'm going to say the quote one more time so I can end it on that. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Oprah Winfrey said that. Everyone have a great day. Much love.